Hello and welcome to That Xbox Show. Coming up in this episode we've got this, and this.
Can we hold it there a second, folks?
What's up? Is there something wrong?
What? No, nothing's wrong. It's just that we're going to try and implement something the marketing guys have come up with.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to be putting achievements into the show.
What? You mean like achievements? Like on the Xbox?
Yeah, so viewers will get achievements for the parts of the show that they watch, and it'll encourage them to watch the whole thing.
Okay.
So if you just want to take it from the top, and we'll run with the new system, okay?
Do you know about this? Hello and welcome to That Xbox Show. Coming up in the show, we've got this, and this. Hope you enjoy the show. How the fuck does this even work? Over the last 7.5 years since the launch of the Xbox 360, we've enjoyed plenty of amazing and exciting video games. And with the next generation consoles just around the corner, we thought we'd take a look back and pick our favourite gaming moments on Xbox 360.
This video contains plot information and video footage of the late staging of several games. Viewer discretion is advised.
Just Cause 2 is full of brilliantly fun things to do, whether that's riding on the back of a fighter jet, hijacking enemy helicopters, or looking away from explosions like a badass. But one thing that never gets old is riding gas canisters as you rocket off like some cheap ass astronaut. It looks cool, and that's because it is. Most of the time. Most people will remember Halo 3 for its amazing multiplayer, but one moment we'll never forget is taking on the formidable Covenant Scarabs. These hulking four-legged transports were first seen in Halo 2, but this was the first time we got to get up close and personal. These moments were among the most epic in the game and provided amazing, breathtaking spectacle. 3 words. Cool as fuck.
Well done, Chief.
Gears of War managed to provide its fair share of memorable moments, from fighting berserkers to the camera movement of the roadie run. But managing to chainsaw the Locust in half was so dourly satisfying that we just had to do it again and again. Call of Duty 4 blew gamers away with its mixture of incredible multiplayer and spectacle-filled single player. And when asked about their favourite moments, many people will point to the breathtaking tanker mission, or the amazingly authentic level that sees you in control of an AC-130 gunship. But for us, the cinematic finale where you finally get to shoot the shit out of the game's baddie, Imran Zakhaev, in slow motion, was just incredibly cool. BioShock is one of a select number of games that manages to create a palpable sense of believability in the type of sci-fi setting that would usually do the exact opposite. The environment tells us stories of the people who lived there, what happened to them and why. But it's the moment as you descend into the depths for the first time and hear Andrew Ryan describe the principles upon which Rapture was built that the city under the sea is revealed to you, engendering a sense of awe and trepidation unlike any other game. Okay, so with this one it's a bit of a cheat because there's no specific moment, but more of a realisation that they'd actually made a properly amazing Batman game. From detective mode to the perfectly paced opening to the oh so glorious combat, this game just kept giving players so much cool shit to do. A lot of people might have bought Crackdown just for the Halo 3 beta that came with it, but the game itself was an incredible example of the fun that sandbox games can provide. Add online co-op into the mix and you've got something truly memorable. We'll never forget the shared moment of climbing the agency tower with a friend, basking in the serenity above the city that sprawled out before us. Until of course you swiftly booted said friend back to where he belonged. There is so much that's great about Portal 2, from the fiendishly tricky puzzles to the brilliantly pitched humour. but one moment is so perfectly funny and blissfully satisfying that we just had to mention it. The moment when you fire a portal onto the moon. Fucking amazing.
Space!
So much space. Need to see it all.
What are you doing?
What? Oh, it's this new game I've got. Here, give it a try.
Doesn't really seem like that kind of thing. Honestly, I just think most of those games are shite.
Well, it's only 69 pieces. It's not that bad.
Well, if you see value, then I suppose it's fair enough.
Yeah, and I do. So I'll have all the fun while you just sit there.
Okay. You bored yet?
Nope. Okay! It's shite! Are you happy now?
What the hell? What the hell?
Thank you for purchasing this video cassette, and welcome to the very first exciting edition of Mysteries of the Unexplained. What secrets do the universe hold? UFOs? Biological experiments? Government conspiracies? All will be revealed. But first, it's common knowledge that the US government has access to time travel since the 1950s and has been using it to stop the truth. We receive footage from what the anonymous sender believes is definitive proof that time travel does exist, and we have been visited by people from the future. Take a look. Last year's Far Cry 3 turned out to be a pretty big surprise, taking players through an experience that allowed them to experiment with different playstyles, all while exploring varied and exotic locations. Ubisoft's latest addition to that series comes in the form of a semi-expansion, albeit one that you can purchase on its own, and it comes with a drastic visual makeover. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is a strange parody mixture of 80s action movies, Saturday morning cartoons, and both retro and modern video games, all wrapped up with an eye-frazzling neon aesthetic. You play as Sergeant Rex Powercold, a Mark IV cyber commando who, despite being 85% synthetic, is, as one character describes, 100% man. This one-man army screams, swears and quips as he blasts his way through an appropriately insane body count, utilising skills that will be familiar to those who played through Far Cry 3. The advanced takedowns and other skills that took a while to unlock in that game are available from the start, as are a variety of different weapons. Mechanically, the game plays like a simplified version of Far Cry 3, with the upgrade system now a simple level progression, which deals out rewards such as increased health and other perks. Within the game world, there are 13 garrisons to liberate, which, as in Far Cry 3, just means you have to kill everyone inside. In Blood Dragon, every garrison is surrounded by extremely high walls, fencing the action into a smaller space, so for the majority of them, you feel like you've lost some of the free-form approaches that you had in Far Cry 3. That's not to say that you can't vary your approach, it's just in most cases I found that stealth never really paid off, and it was much easier and quicker just to run in and blast everyone. One of the few true new additions to the game are the titular Blood Dragons. These hulking beasts roam the island, and with the clever throw of a cyber heart, you can lure them into battle to help destroy your enemies. For the most part it works well, especially in open spaces. However, other than the amusement you get from watching a dragon fire a laser from its eyes, there's no real reason to get them involved. The hunting element from Far Cry 3, which saw you collecting different animal skins, has also been removed. So while there are still robotic animals scattered across the game world, the incentive to kill them has been greatly diminished. It's a shame, as going off-road in search of the different wildlife in Far Cry 3 was often a good way of discovering the environment's secrets. But I'll be honest here and say that there's not much to see in Blood Dragon's open environment anyway. When you're not engaged in the neon explosions of a firefight, the red haze that covers the island makes everything look a bit drab, and in contrast to Far Cry 3, it's actually the interiors that serve up Blood Dragon's most exciting visuals. But even with the visual changes, you can't help shake the feeling that you've done all of this before. Indeed, even the very first sequence in which you fire from a helicopter causing mayhem on the ground below mirrors a sequence near the end of Far Cry 3 in which Jason Brody does the exact same thing as he escapes with his brother. But gameplay mechanics aside, there's a far bigger deterrent to a player's potential enjoyment of this game, and that's the coherence of its narrative ambitions. The game takes all of the elements that are now synonymous with 80s action movies and other areas of pop culture from the time, and presents them with little in the way of commentary. The occasional wisecrack sends the player a knowing nod of how silly it all is, but you can't help but feel that it's a bit of a waste. There's also a lack of coherence in the aesthetic too, which sees moments of the Mayan-esque ruins of Far Cry 3 creeping back in, and the VHS look, which covers most of the game, is swapped out during the cutscenes for a retro video game look. Blood Dragon also looks to parody some established video game systems such as tutorials, however it fails to provide either a creative solution or alternative, and instead simply falls back on pointing it out and hoping for a laugh.
I fucking hate tutorials, and this one is terrible.
And when the jokes are already as threadbare as tutorials are shit, aren't they? Then it becomes painful as they try to stretch them out across 6 hours. It's very easy to be critical of Blood Dragon when comparing it to Far Cry 3, since it often just feels like a stripped down version of that game. However, there are moments of brilliance scattered throughout, from the music to the ridiculously overpowered endgame weapon, and for its price it's actually extremely good value. It's just for all the effort that Ubisoft have put into highlighting some of the established traits in video games, and in capturing the essence and style of the 80s, you just wish that they had something more to say about it.
Passed out on the floor, and when he woke up, he was different.
What do you mean, different?
Just different, okay? He was talking all crazy, saying words I've never heard before. Words I didn't want to hear.
What?
Listen, I don't know how it's happened or why, but things have changed. It's going to change all of us too.
Hey, buddy. You doing okay?
PlayStation.
So what do we do?
You know there's only one thing we can do.
I will not do that. I'm not going to throw away everything we worked for!
We can't keep lying to ourselves. Not now. Not anymore.
No. No.
There's more than one John, and you know it. There's more than one!